Bhakti and Bhakti Yoga. What is Bhakti? Bhakti means intense love for God. All the creatures have love in their heart. Wild animals have love for their offspring. Humans have love for their children. Human love is conditional love. It has expectations and attachment. When human love purifies and becomes more unconditional love, that can be converted into divine love for God. Divine love for God is unconditional and it is natural duty. 4 kinds of people worship God. In this book, Bhakti Yoga, it is explained. Artharthi, Artra, Jignasu and Gnani. Artharthi means one wants something, worships God. One wants some reward. One wants wealth, family, name, job. These are the beggars. Arthra means suffering. Somebody is suffering from aches, pain, diseases, worships God. These are lower kind of worships. One worships God out of curiosity. When one is free from those 2 basic demands of begging and also from relief from suffering, one is curious to know who am I. This is superior kind of search. But still superior is the Gnani, the man of wisdom who searches for God, and that is unconditional because considers own duty to worship God. When we see a beautiful painting, we want to meet the artist. When we hear melodious music, we want to hear and meet the artist in person. When we see the beauty all around us, beauty of trees, flowers, lakes, sun, moon, and everything is so wondrous. When wonders, who is the creator? And this search is a search for God. And search for God gives the freedom. Here is the textbook of Bhakti Yoga called Narad Bhakti Sutra. Origin is not known but attributed to Saint Narada, who was a legendary mythological figure. And here are some of the basic verses. Sa tasvin param prema swarupa. Verily the nature of supreme love of God is called bhakti. Amruta swarupacha, that means it is like a nectar. Yad labdva puman siddho bhavati, amruto bhavati, trupto bhavati, by attaining which one becomes perfect, one becomes divine, and one becomes content. Yat prapya na kinchit vanchati, na shochati, na dvesti, na ramate, notsahi bhavati, by attaining which he wants nothing, desires nothing, he doesn't worry about anything, doesn't grieve anything, he doesn't hate anyone, he has no enmity, he doesn't rejoice the pleasures and doesn't get excited. This means one is sthita prajna, one is stable of mind, one has spiritual maturity, one has attained samatha. That means one is so content, pleasure and pain come and go, disturbs. Most people doesn't disturb the one who is established in bhakti. Yad labdva matto bhavati, stabdo bhavati, atmaramo bhavati. By attaining which he becomes intoxicated with love, becomes stabda, means becomes stiff or fascinated or totally in ecstasy, and becomes atmaram, means enjoying bliss within oneself. These are the definition of bhakti. Bhakti means meditative state. So when one develops unconditional love, directs toward God, that becomes bhakti. And this is the path of attaining liberation. The root is bhaja. Bhaja means constant remembrance. And constant remembrance of God is bhakti. There are four major paths for salvation. One is Gnana Yoga, or using higher mind, questioning who am I. Second path is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti means love and devotion, and most religions of the world could be called Bhakti Yoga because somehow one worships God. Third path is Karma Yoga, or yoga of selfless service, and fourth yoga is scientific yoga of contemplation, or Raja Yoga. Bhakti is the easiest path. Bhakti means constant remembrance of God. One can use mantra chant. And it is said in Bhagavatam, Kali Yuge Kevala Nama Adhara. In Kali Yuga, in the time we are going through now, which is very speedy time, during this time, easiest path of liberation of and salvation is constant remembrance of God, or mantra chant. Mantra chant is easiest and safest in this modern age. So mantra yoga is part of bhakti yoga, because in mantra you remember God by constant repetition. Sometimes you may use rosary beads for purpose of meditation. So bhakti yoga takes you to state of equanimity, inner peace, and that is the state of meditation. One has to struggle very hard to control the mind and to experience the bliss of self. In bhakti yoga, it is relatively easy because one uses hands for clapping, legs for dancing, mouth for talking, eyes to see image of God, and one becomes intoxicated remembering God. And this way, very easy to direct restless mind and senses in the direction of meditation using bhakti yoga and mantra chant. Jai Bhagavan.